So in Little Egg Harbor, there's been quite a bit going on in the past few months, as detailed right here on Ocean County Politics. And we're sitting down here with Mayor Kobryn to talk over some of these developments, some of the shakeups that he's seen in his tenure as mayor here. So, Gene, first of all, give our viewers some background information about yourself. Tell us, how long have you been involved in politics?
Approximately 10 plus years.
Okay. And how long have you served on the committee in your current role?
This is my fourth run.
Your fourth run. Okay. So, in the past 12 months, you came into this as a Republican, and now you're running for re-election as a Democrat. What happened?
Basically, the current committee people launched an investigation with the sole purpose of firing Garrett Loesch and going after the chief. Okay, and the result of that is they crossed the line as far as ethics. Their moral compass was shot because they had a hidden agenda. And none of the investigation was for the benefit of taxpayers. It was only for the benefit of the two of them who knew what they wanted to do and had a hidden agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, the new township committee people, both Dave and Lisa, knew nothing about this, including myself, till March or April of this past year. And as a result, we sort of requested a report from Perillo, who was the conflict attorney, and the result of that, we all got a copy of the report. And my concern was, if I didn't request it as the mayor, would I ever have gotten a copy at all?
And that's the thing, it really has been one of the major issues to dominate politics in town here, this whole investigation where, if you're not familiar with it already, we already have some of the articles up about that on the site. But essentially, they brought in Nemad, Perillo, and Davis. That's the law firm of Atlantic County Republican Chairman Keith Davis. So, there was some concerns floating around, with respect to the current legal representation of Gilmore and Monahan, and, maybe if there's a hidden agenda on their part. But going back to some of the issues associated with the Ocean County Republican Party, it's interesting. You're actually the second sitting Republican mayor to leave the Republican Party for this election cycle. Actually, there was John Novak, the mayor of Barnegat. He is running for Ocean County Freeholder as an independent. He left the Republican Party to do that for this election cycle. Do you think this is a trend we're going to start seeing in other towns in Ocean County? Is there something wrong with the current direction of the Ocean County Republican Party?
I think the Democratic Party in itself needs to step up to the plate and gather some momentum to be a real political force in the county. And events like this should encourage them to do more than they've been doing.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is something that you would like to see the county Democratic organization do that maybe they haven't done in the past? Because you've been on both sides. You have seen it from the Republican perspective and now the Democratic perspective. So what do you think is lacking?
They need a more robust organization to focus on what they need to do within Ocean County and basically make some changes in the politics and the structure of this county so the Democrats themselves can set a new direction and not do the same old as been done before.
Right. I definitely see your point there, because of about 19 municipal races that are happening this year in Ocean County, there's really only full slates of Democratic candidates. I think there's definitely been failures in terms of recruiting candidates and also supporting municipal candidates in races like this. The only town in Ocean County that really is solidly Democratic is Bricktown, currently.
Yes.
Do you think there's an opportunity here in Little Egg Harbor, given the current balance of the committee?
The opportunity exists, right, where they can make a substantial inroad in this town by re-electing me and sustaining a Democratic majority going forward. If I don't win the campaign or get re-elected, I think the strength of the Democratic influence in this town will be just pushed aside. and the Republicans will take over again and do what they've always done,
Right.
which is not good for the taxpayer.
Now you mentioned taxpayers, and that's actually what I want to get onto next. We've reported your opponent, Bobby Jo Cray. She has taken a lot of money from the appointed professionals that actually currently receive contracts in Little Egg Harbor, including Siddall, Zapfel, and Zabarski, the Township Labor Council, Gilmore and Monahan, the Township Attorney. Do you think it's ethical for politicians to be receiving contributions from the appointed professionals whose contracts they're going to be voting on?
Unfortunately, this is the system that's been in place for years and is embedded in the politics of the day. And I'm not sure what would ever change it, both at the county, the township, or the state level.
Right. So building on that, Gene, I want to kind of turn things around here. This week we've reported that now not one but two law enforcement organizations, the Little Egg Harbor PBA and now the Ocean County Police Chiefs Association, are calling on two Little Egg committeemen, John Kem and Ray Gormley. They are formally calling on them to resign for their role in this investigation. Do you agree with them, given what we've seen?
Yes.
Why should they resign?
They've had some ethical lapses, and as a result, they've had hidden agendas which they've pushed forward. In this case, it was an investigation they did with two township employees. They crossed the line. Their integrity, to me, is gone. The ethics now is gone. And their moral compass somewhat got lost in the conception of power, which launched this investigation in the first place.
Now, with this investigation, we've tried to get reports, through the township clerk's office, and it seems every attempt, I remember even Mr. Schlick publicly called for these reports to be released to the taxpayer, because these, thousands and thousands of dollars that were expended here, and the only thing we're really seeing is blacked out legal bills. What are you going to do to try and get this report released out to the public?
Along those lines, I made a statement earlier that the public has a right to see the report that they paid for, and that the two employees have the right to request the report to be released. And this is now being debated and questioned at the township meeting, and we'll address it again at the next township meeting next week.
So this is going to be an ongoing issue. We'll definitely be following that. Going back to Mr. Kem and Mr. Gormley, people were shocked around Ocean County, actually, when the witness list came out in the Bridgegate criminal trial of Bridget Ann Kelly and Bill Baroni. They are accused of shutting down the lanes of the George Washington Bridge as political retaliation for Governor Christie. But one of the people that was actually on that witness list was Little Egg Harbor Committeeman John Kem. So my question to you, Gene, is what does John know about Bridgegate for him to be on that list?
I have no idea, and it was a surprise to me to see him on the list, period.
Yeah, so that's definitely, obviously, going to be something that we're going to be following up at the federal level. But, going back to the big picture here in Little Egg Harbor, there's obviously been a lot of instability. There's been concerns raised by residents and citizens and business owners. If you were reelected, what is your plan to turn things around? What will you do to increase transparency and kind of turn around the course of the ship here?
Well, basically, we will continue transparency and be more robust about it. We've started it for the first time ever, and we'll continue to do it. In regards to moving forward, we have a commercial corridor on Route 9, which has to be taken care of. Basically, we're looking for a private-public partnership with the stakeholders and the property owners to take a look at the plan endorsement, revisit the town center, and redo it so that we can have some real ratables in town through the Route 9 corridor, commercial corridor that exists now. Walmart's been a great start. Now we need to continue it.
Excellent. So Gene, you're going to be facing in the election this year former mayor, former committee woman Barbara Bobby Jo Cray. What is it that you offer that she doesn't?
Experience, all the things I've been involved in and done in the last 5 to 10 years, which are highlighted in my interview in the sandpaper and also the leader of this town. So if anyone cares to read it, you can tell what I've done, my breadth of experience, and what I've been involved in, which she hasn't been because she's been out of the loop for a long time.
So, Gene, is there anything else you'd like to add? Anything else that we haven't touched on here that you would like to address?
My only comment is I'm running again to continue the change of atmosphere in this town based on the Democrats moving forward with their platform, the things they want to do for the benefit of the taxpayers. It's time for a change. It's time for us to be visible and do what needs to be done for the taxpayers and not continue the practices with hidden agenda, frivolous lawsuits unending based on Democratic hidden agenda, the Republican hidden agendas.
Yeah. All right. Well, Gene, thank you very much for joining us here today. We'll be
Thank you.
following what goes on in Little Egg Harbor, and best of luck in November.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Gavin.